I'm going to kick this thing right in gear tonight. I just ask that, God, that by your Spirit tonight, that you would help my words to flow succinctly. I have so much to say tonight. This has been one of the most remarkable weeks of my life, and it had nothing to do with me. I've been witnessing it happen for and around me, but I'm going to go over some announcements really quick, and then I have a couple of things I want to tell you guys, because so many of you are privy to the background stories of what I'm going to tell you that has unfolded. So the promo codes for those who are able to, who have sponsored new people, for new people that got promo codes, tomorrow's the deadline to use those. Let us know if you don't plan on using them. If you plan on using them, hold on to them with your gritty hands and try to use them all the way till the end. We want you guys to use those. If you don't, if you're not, you just know you're not going to use them, let me know and I'll pass them on to someone who will. My intention tonight was to talk about the Gold Masterclass Week 2 video tonight. That was what was scheduled on the docket, and my week literally got pulled out from underneath me like a rug in a good way. So I hope you guys saw that I did post it on Monday. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, it's relevant. It needs to be watched, although that's not what we're going to discuss tonight. Tomorrow also, we're ending the 10-day Actively Balanced challenge that we've been doing. There was a good email that came out today about Rise Up and Develop Silvers. I'm probably going to briefly read that to you. I think I have it pulled up on my computer. Just a second. Rise Up and Develop Silvers. August is your chance to put more cash in your pocket and try a sample of a new product with the Rise Up to Silver incentive. Rise up to the challenge and develop new silvers this month. You've got this. Here's how. Develop new first-time silver ambassadors on your level 1 to earn extra cash plus a 30-day sample of a new hemp extract oil product. For each new level 1 first-time silver ambassador you develop, who also enrolls 3 new ambassadors with a welcome packet in August, you'll earn a $100 bonus. Also, you'll earn a 30-day sample bottle of a new hemp extract oil. And then it says, need help? We've got your back. Help your team get on the fast track to success. These resources can help you pick up the momentum on your team and guide them to success this summer. And then there's a clickable link to the send, share, and invite sheet. That's something you can print off that will help you keep track of what you have going on. And there's another clickable link that says how to join the monthly training calls. And then a tool to guide your team members to achieving silver. It's called How to Rank Up. So don't forget, you can choose your prize, and then it shows the full spectrum hemp oil or the cannabinoid isolate oil. And offer ends August 31st, and then there's a Learn More tab. So that email to me was absolutely full of great stuff, okay? Good stuff. Good resources, I guess. Let's see. Also, right now, I'd really like to focus for the next 2 weeks, because on September 1st, we're going to actually start we're going to have a back to school event that will be focusing on keeping kids' immunities strong. And so a lot of you will have friends who would be interested in being in that event. We're going to do it on a Sunday night. It'll just be like a 1-hour event. It's not going to be like a week-long event or anything like that. Yeah, I agree. That email was just, I mean, especially for a new person, it has a send, share, invite clickable. It has all these things. That email, I'm going backwards here, but I was responding to what Aaron said. Aaron said there's also an email that has come out recently that we now have balanced sample packs. So I wrote that down. So for the next 2 weeks, I would like for you, if you have a calendar handy, to mark through it with a little arrow for the next 2 weeks to focus on send, share, and then what you're going to be inviting people to if you need to invite them. Sometimes it's send, share, and enroll. Sometimes you send them a couple things and then they're ready to enroll. Invite, though, is to the back to school event for September 1st. I think that is all of my announcements. Now I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know where to start this story, but I'm going to try to keep it very concise so I'm not all over the place. For those of you who have been on this team for a long time, that none of this is going to completely surprise you, although you may not know much of it. If you're new on this team, you may be shocked at some of the weird stuff I'm about to tell you, although Brittany's new, she won't be shocked. She knows me. So my brother passed away in 2006. And before that, my spirituality level or whatever was about, I don't know, here or there. I'd never made any decisions about anything really. I tried to be a moral person and do the right thing or whatever, but something really rocked my world. That really rocked my world. Something about that, I should say, really rocked my world. And then in 2007, he died in September of 2006. My dad had died 2 years before, and my older sister had died 4 months before. So it was like my dad, my older sister, and my younger brother. It was just like boom, boom, boom. And I was about finished with funerals, basically. Well, in 2007, I was upstairs in the house I live in, which is now my bedroom. It wasn't my bedroom at the time. And I saw what now I know that I think people call a vision. I did not know what it was at the time. It looked like I was watching a movie, and I just it made me just, and as I watched it unfold, it was like I was up high looking down on a scene that was going on. And there were people everywhere. I know some of you know this story, but there were people everywhere. There were stadium lights. And it's almost like I'm a drone. I didn't know there was a such thing as a drone back then, but it was like I was up above it. I don't think I was actually flying. It was just like a perspective, seeing something from a perspective, and I'm lowering down into it. And there is some sort of good chaos going on. Like people are excited about something. And while it's happening, while I'm seeing this, it's like my brain understood what was going on. But the minute I snapped out of it, I was like, what was that? What was going on? And I lowered down into it, and I realized that it was me and people that I know that were causing all the commotion. Now, this vision that I'm telling you about is well documented. I have talked about it on multiple breakthrough trainings and stuff like that. I saw it again. I see things a lot. Like if I close my eyes and I'm praying for someone, I'll get a visual inside my head. Like I might see somebody jumping on lily pads, or I might see somebody wearing a red shirt or something like that. But that, to me, for people who are curious, feels like a memory. Like I see it in my head. It's almost like I remember that time she wore that red shirt. And I'll say, I see you wearing a red shirt. But I'm not actually seeing it, if that makes sense, okay? This other thing that I just told you about was like I was watching a movie. I've only ever had this happen to me. It's been the same exact vision, and it's happened twice. The weekend of my daughter's birthday. By the way, I got to say this. In 2007, when I would tell people about it, I would tell them that I dreamed it because I was worried that my husband was concerned that I might need to be put in an institution or something. I was nuts then. I was in such grief, and I thought he won't know what I'm, he'll be concerned for me. And so I didn't tell anybody that this happened with eyes wide open, right? Well, 2016, I think, whatever party that we did, a 21 Pilots party for my daughter's birthday. So I think it was 2016. I'd have to go back and look, but one of her friends had stayed over, and the grandparents of the friend came over. Hang on, I've got to plug my computer in. I just realized I thought I had it plugged in. Hang on. Her grandparents came over to pick her up. And while they were here, sorry, they wanted to come out and look at my pool, and they did. And the grandmother asked me if I'd be willing to pray for her business. And I said, sure. And so I started praying for her business, and I barely got, I don't know, maybe 2 sentences into it. And I hadn't even closed my eyes yet. I was just like, Lord, thank you for this day. I don't know what else I said. And then all of a sudden it starts like I'm up above again, and I'm looking down and I'm seeing it. And I can't even continue praying for watching. And I say, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys what I'm seeing. And I start saying what I was seeing. I barely got 2 or 3 sentences into it. And the grandpa, it was the grandma and the grandpa looks at me and he goes, if you build it, they will come. Well, every time I've ever told about that dream that was really a vision, I would always describe it at the end. I would say it was really like Field of Dreams. Like there were headlights so far that like you couldn't see the end of them. And there were, it was like the Pied Piper. Sometimes people couldn't figure out why they were showing up. It was like Field of Dreams. I would say that. So I just say I'm up above. It's like I'm telling the grandparents, I'm above, and I'm lowering down into a crowd of people. And he says, if you build it, they will come. And I just looked at him like, oh my gosh. And after I finished describing the vision to him, I say, did you know what that was? Like, did you see it too? And he goes, no, I just heard that. I heard that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Fast forward a little bit longer. Actually, that very week, I had some girls over for a retreat, a Plexus retreat. I think that weekend. So I may have the year wrong. Aaron may know. Aaron was there. It might have been 2015. Anyway, I told about that vision to those girls. I had never really told anybody besides my mom, my husband, my sister. And as I told these girls, I waited till the very end. I had to get my courage up. Like now I'm telling it freely. I don't know why I am, but okay, she's saying it was 2016. So anyway, I will get to in a second why this is relevant. While I do that, or before I do that, I want to show you guys something really quick, because a year ago last week, I don't know how to describe other than I heard a voice that wasn't audible tell me to fix my guest house, fix my rent house into a guest house. So I'm going to show you a clip really quick, because it reminded me of this a little. I know if you've never seen Field of Dreams, this won't make that much relevance to you, but hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to get I've got to mute everybody again because I've got somebody that I can hear. And now I'll share the screen again. All right. Okay. I think this is a little short clip. And then I'm going to show you another.
That voice just now, what was it?
We didn't hear anything. If you build it, you will not.
Hey, you must have heard that.
Sorry. Hey, come on in to dinner.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I want to share this with you too.
All right. This is fascinating. It is. But the fact remains is that you don't have the money to bring the mortgage up to date, so you're still going to have to sell. Sorry, Ray. We got no choice.
Ray, people will come, Ray. They come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. Greatest money they have, the peace they like.
Ray, just sign the papers.
They'll walk out to the bleachers, sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines. They sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game. The music themselves and magic words. Memories of these old people. Mash them all in their faces.
Ray, when the bank opens in the morning, they'll foreclose.
People will come, Ray.
You're broke, Ray. You sell now or you lose everything.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard. Rebuilt when the race began. Baseball, like the time. This field, this game, it's a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Ray, you will lose everything. You will be evicted. Come on, Ray.
Okay, that was a little drama for you. So a year ago, it was kind of like that. I felt kind of weird doing what we did, putting it all together. I did what I thought I was supposed to do, and then I listed it on Airbnb, and it has sat there on Airbnb for a year. I have not felt like I was supposed to promote it. I did a little thing at Christmas. I made a Facebook business page for it, but I have not felt like I was supposed to like talk about it all the time or whatever. And at exactly a year's time, by the way, when he built that baseball field, he cut down all his corn to build a baseball field based on a voice. And then after he did it, it shows it getting snowed on, nothing happened. It shows it the spring coming, nothing happened, nothing happened, nothing happened. Okay. I knew what I heard, although I just, nothing was happening. Nothing seemed to be happening. Last Wednesday night, a week ago, or last Wednesday, yeah, right before our call, you guys remember me saying that someone did an article, a mainstream news called Pop Sugar. Never heard of them before. Well, I think I had seen them before or whatever, but never had spoken with them before or anything. And all of a sudden, right before I start going live on Dawn and Greg's team, I see I'm being tagged and tagged and tagged. People are saying, Lori, did you see this? Look at this. And there was commentary, lots of fun commentary, people tagging their girlfriends. We should go. It's in Oklahoma. How far are you from Dallas? This sounds so fun. And then there were other people that were saying things like, that doesn't look like the set of Golden Girls and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to have to go live. I can't even respond to these people. So that happened Wednesday. Thursday, Aaron sends me an article. Did you see this? And it's an article that Field of Dreams is actually, they are going to build an 8,000 people stadium in the cornfield. And the New York Yankees are going to play the White Sox next summer. She's like, did you see this? Well, just earlier that day, Christia had said something about that article, and she's like, I think it's God's favor on you. Does that resonate with you? And I said, well, the weird thing is, it feels very, if you build it. That's how it has felt. If you build it, they will come. And so I kind of thought, after I read the article from Aaron, I thought, well, I'm on the right track, going to stay the course, whatever. Friday, another lady reached out to me from the same publication it's called Hearst Publications or something like that, Hearst. And they do magazines like Cosmo, House Beautiful, Family Circle, Woman's Day, all the ones that you see at the newsstand. And she's a writer for them, and she's written an article. She had already written it, and then to ask me if she could use my pictures. And so that was Friday. Saturday, I literally went on Facebook. I know this is a long story. Thank you for humoring me, but it is very relevant to the story of my life. Saturday night, I get on Facebook and I think, I really need some wicker furniture in this place and some banana leaves in the bedroom, because that's the thing that people noticed on Wednesday. That was my dress rehearsal. People were like, where's the banana leaves? Where's the wicker furniture? And I'm like, shoot. So I get on Facebook Marketplace and in a town literally touching this town, like right over from a few minutes away, a girl had posted 6 hours ago several pieces of wicker furniture. And she wasn't asking a fortune for it. And I start talking to her about it. And she's like, yeah, you can come on out and get it. I send my son to go get that. I run to Hobby Lobby with like 20 minutes to spare. I go get some banana leaf. Literally transformed in about a 4-hour window of time, transformed 2 of the main rooms in the guest house. Yes, Hearst Magazines is one of the world's largest publishers of monthly magazines. Yes, and that is a lady from one of their writers had reached out to me and told me she was going to use my pictures. Asked is what she did. She's like, just letting you know. Oh my gosh. So I transform it enough that we have banana leaves now, and we have wicker tray tables, coffee table, that kind of thing. I take more pictures. I load them to Airbnb, and by Sunday, I get those to her. Monday, the publication comes out. Monday, the publication comes out on housebeautiful.com, and I'm like, wow, so cool. This morning, I get a call from a local news station. I don't know who that's who's calling me. I just say hello. He says, is this Lori? Yes. He says, I'm with KXII. I was curious if we could come out and do a little segment on your guest house. And I'm thinking, now, how did he find out about it? I mean, just curious. I'm like, so how did you find out? He goes, oh, it came across my national publications reel something or another today. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, he comes out and does an interview of me, does a really cute segment on it that aired at 6 o'clock. And then he leaves. He came out at like 2:30, left by 3:30. And as he's leaving, I said, what did you say that's called where you found it? He said it was in Yahoo News. I said, that's where you saw it? And he's like, yeah, it's like Lifestyle Yahoo News. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, come to find out, it's on Oprah Magazine today. It's on multiple. If you Google Rue McClanahan's guest house, multiple places are talking about it. Y'all, all day long, my heart has been ka-kung, ka-kung, ka-kung. What is happening? I even said online, I think every single time that I have posted about it in the last 2 or 3 days, I have said, what is happening? I know what is happening. I just don't understand it. I've not reached out to any of these people. Now, you may be wondering why I'm telling you this story. I think it comes down to, like, there will be more to the story, I assure you. There will be more to relevant reasons why I end up sharing more of this story with you. But for tonight, I think it's okay to just share with you. I think what I'm supposed to share with you is this. That was a test. The entire thing, I believe, was a test of my willingness to look a little foolish. By the way, the vision of the stadium, I don't believe has anything to do. Well, I think the vision of the stadium and the guest house are somehow linked. Like, I think the vision of the stadium is something that will happen in my life. I think I will see it unfold. People are like, it's probably metaphorical, and it might be, could be metaphorical. I think it was a wave of healing or a wave of revival or something like that was going on. When I read the article about the Field of Dreams, that they're putting up an 8,000 people stadium, I said to my husband, I said, and that stadium's just going to be sitting there. And I said, every time I talk about that vision, I always say it was like Field of Dreams. It was like Field of Dreams, and I'm actually like doing something inside what looks like the setting of Field of Dreams. Now, I never say that it is Field of Dreams, because Field of Dreams, as you could see from that clip, is one set of wooden bleachers today. A year from today, it's going to seat 8,000 people. There's going to be one window, one whole wall that's a window so you can see the corn. And the New York Yankees are going to play the White Sox. And other than that, that stadium's just going to be sitting there. Now, my husband, who is very wise, he did say to me, they're not going to leave that stadium there. I said, yes, they are. He's like, no, they're not. It said that it was going to be a temporary stadium. Well, I did something real mature, like stomp off, like, like, what do you know? And I went and took a shower. But when I came back in there, he goes, hey, come to find out, sure enough, it is going to still be there. And I thought that was another little, probably not just a tiny little interesting tidbit to the whole thing. I'm not going to be surprised. Like I told him, I said, I'm inviting you to go to that game with me. I'm going in August of next year to that game. Thank you. Exactly. Just Googled it, and there are 8 different links for articles and websites it's being featured in. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, there weren't that many earlier. Well, I didn't see that many earlier. Not to mention, many of the local, like KTRX Country or whatever today, they grabbed one of these links and they shared it on their website or on their Facebook page. They're like, hey, y'all, this is here. Hey, y'all, this is here. Hey, y'all. I do not understand how the two things are linked together, but literally a Field of Dreams sandwich is what was made. Wednesday, the Pop Sugar publication. Thursday, the Field of Dreams thing that Aaron sent me. And Friday is when the House Beautiful lady reached out to me. It was literally a Field of Dreams sandwich. And that's the vision that I've had. I have built it. Like, not with my own two hands. I didn't build it. I didn't build that house over there. And you can ask Erin. She'll be able to tell you. I've always thought that there's a possibility that I may end up owning more property right around my house. Like, this may be a place where people come for healing and retreats. And I don't know. I don't know if that's what may possibly come out of all of this. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Right, Erin. I got you, girl. I find out also that I have friends that are going to wherever it's called, Dyersville, Iowa in November. I might hitch a ride with them. It's wild, all these things that are coming together. Yeah. Rue McClanahan's guest house. I don't know what else you can Google. I just know that a friend sent me today. She said, I said, hey, something on my Facebook wall. This is before I knew the Oprah thing. I just said something on my Facebook wall about cheesecake, when cheesecake is a prop and it's your lunch, because I had used it for the KXII thing. And I said, what is happening? And a girl messaged me and she goes, you need to Google Rue McClanahan's guest house. And when I did, all of these publications popped up. It houses.
It's even on Scary Mommy, Lori.
Okay.
Scary Mommy is this blogger that a lot of moms follow and share stuff all over like Facebook and Instagram. So Scary Mommy, Pure Wow, your Facebook link to the page, Bustle, Airbnb, House Beautiful, Pop Sugar. Those are the top 8 that come up.
Do you see the Oprah one?
The Oprah one did not come up, which is surprising because I do search for Oprah stuff quite frequently.
That's funny. The Oprah one actually came up under a website called Flipmark or Flip something.
Flipboard.
What?
Flipboard. Is it Flipboard to House Beautiful? Okay.
Flipboard. I clicked on the Flipboard one. I didn't know where it was going to take me, and it landed me on an Oprah.
It still goes to the House Beautiful article.
It's the same article, but Oprah is hosting it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm saying it's the same article. Like, I think because maybe the same publication.
They own, it's like Hearst, I think, is part of the Oprah family too for magazines. But Pop Sugar, a lot of us subscribe to Pop Sugar emails. So it's crazy.
It's crazy. And I know I have people flat out asking me, are you for real? Like that I didn't reach out to them or whatever. I can promise you, if the dishes in that house were not done, I wasn't reaching out to people. Like, I'm saying I had to go over there and like do stuff in order for KXII, the local people, to even come over today. Like, totally.
How did the first publication find out about it? That's what I want. Like, you don't even know? They didn't tell you a week ago?
No, she said she came across my Airbnb listing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, like, I don't know why she stumbled on that, but
well, Golden Girls are having a moment.
The Golden Girls are having a moment. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Okay, you'll have to explain that to me better, Brandy, because I'm not sure exactly what that means. It means, even though I'm following what you're saying. I think I'm following your line of thinking. Also, today we went to Lowe's. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you one more thing. This was so weird. I go into Hobby Lobby. I have 20 minutes because it was going to, there's no Sunday Hobby Lobby. Like, they are closed on Sundays, and Monday is when the article was coming out, and I needed pictures with banana leaves. So I run back to the fabric. I ask a lady, I need banana leaf fabric. P.S. I didn't even know that those were banana leaves. I knew that they were tropical. Had it not been for the Wednesday where people were like, where's the banana leaves? I would not have even known that. But the lady goes, yeah, I think we have a bolt of that. So she goes over and gets it. I take it, and there's a clearance section right by the fabric. And I go over there. There are these rolls of, what am I trying to say? Rolls of ribbon, Grosgain ribbon, that are banana leaves. I'm not kidding. On clearance, 99 cents. There's like 5 rolls of banana leaf ribbon. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but seriously, I'd be such a dummy to leave it here. I grabbed that. They have these 2 pictures that are like in black frames that are 90% off. You'll see them in the pictures. The pictures that are flanking the bed that are like this. It's almost like a little pink mesa, like little, her room was like pink and banana leaves. And so I bought these matching like 16 by 20 pictures to flank the bed. I framed banana leaf fabric. I put banana leaf blanket, which is really just fabric right now. It will be a blanket in a few days, but banana leaf fabric on the bed. My daughter had bought a banana leaf pillow when we were trying to make the back porch look cute earlier in the week for some friends to come over. I go into Big Lots, which in our mall, it's like Hobby Lobby is here. You go outside, and here's Big Lots. So I go Big Lots, and they have brown banana leaf pillows that are $5. They're like clearance too. And my sofa's in there that I don't really want to, I might eventually put wicker furniture in there, but actual furniture. But for now, I don't really want to, for multiple reasons, even if somebody gave it to me, because the guest house is for lounging around. And I don't know if you've ever tried to set on even chair padded wicker furniture. It's not comfortable. So I just threw those banana leaf brown pillows on the brown couches with other colorful pillows, and it looked perfect. My son went and picked up all of the wicker stuff. I literally was like, out with that table, put this one. I put up these atrocious curtains. They are shockingly bad, but they're like turquoise, like waves, or like maybe it's not chevron. I'm not sure what it is. It's some sort of pattern. Pulled it all together. Like I said, from start to finish, before I went to Hobby Lobby, it was 4 hours. And then literally even took pictures and loaded them and got to bed by 11 o'clock that night. And I'm just going, today, it needs to be landscaped. I go to Lowe's. All of these shrubs, as you can imagine, in this August heat, all the shrubs are like $5.25, $8.50, instead of like one of the trees that I bought is like a $69 tree, and I got it for $5. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like, everything I needed is just falling in front of me. And I will tell you that a lot of it has to do with being obedient. I know, and I'm not bragging on myself. I can't even talk about this on Facebook because I don't want people to get the wrong impression. But I know a lot of it was being okay with looking foolish, like just being obedient. That's one thing. And I think the other thing has to do with, it's just, God's just laying it all out for me now. It's like, okay, a whole year went by, with you not, I didn't try to self-promote it. This is the first thing I've ever done that I was completely hands off. And here we are, Oprah Magazine. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've never had anything happen for me like that. Also, I believe with all my heart, and Jetty would tell you this. Are you on here, babe? Let's see if he's really on here. Oh, he says, yeah. Okay. Jetty would tell you that from the moment I picked up a camera in 2000, probably mid 2006, I started saying, this may sound really weird, but I started saying, I'm the best photographer in this town. I didn't even know how to take a picture. I'm the best photographer in this town. And he would look at my stuff or whatever. He'd be like, babe, those are good. And I would say, yeah, I know, because I'm the best photographer in this town. Even though the proof was not in the pudding yet, that's the way I've always talked to myself about things that I'm working on. It's a technique that's always worked for me. And for those of you who know, like, I went on to win like major awards with my photography, a major award with my photography that landed us on a trip to New York, all of this stuff, like got to learn from 5 famous photographers 5 days in a row. And that whole thing, I feel like even the way I talked, all of that manifested that. It's so important the way you talk. It's so important the way you talk to yourself about yourself. Now, I didn't go around telling everybody that I was the best photographer in town, but anybody that I felt like I could say it to, like my mom, my sister, my husband, my friends, I'd be like, I'm the best photographer in this town. I was manifesting it around me. Okay, hang on. I'm going to read these private comments. Okay. Yes. So I'm responding to a private message here. She was like, I didn't perceive it as foolish. I thought it was a cool idea. Meaning the guest house, I think, is what she's talking about. I did too. I thought this could be cool. The thing is, though, when you put something out there and then it's like nothing, you guys know how that feels. I mean, let that resonate around in your heart for just a second. You know, let it like tinker around, tink, 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 tink in the bucket for a second. You know how it feels. Yeah, crickets, and it's awful. It can be awful. But I've been telling Jetty for a while, you just wait. I think I told him, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I told him, you just wait. It will be the destination of this town. Did I say that? Yeah. People will come here just to stay there. You wait and see. That's what I used to tell him when we first were doing it. I knew I was just blowing smoke, but there is something to that. That's what I was putting out there. This is probably, I should have said, tonight I'm going to teach a class on manifestation. I'm going to tell you what I did, because this is what I did. I blow smoke about something, if you want to call it that, because that's what it feels like when you're doing it. And it feels really weird when there's crickets and you're doing it, when there's a lot of vulnerability involved. I was not the best photographer in town for a long time. While I was saying it, while I was learning, while I was even the contest I won was sort of a fluke. I got a picture that was the picture was sort of a fluke for my skills at the time. And now I look back on that and I'm like, that picture, I manifested that picture manifested that trip. Going on that trip and learning what I did manifested me into the photographer I always said that I was. Like, I became an amazing photographer. You'll probably think I'm crazy for saying it like that, but that's the way I see it. That's the way my mind's eye sees it. And that's the way I pray that you guys, especially if there's something that's really on your heart, whether it's your Plexus business or not, if you want to manifest a better marriage, you start telling yourself that you have the most amazing marriage on the planet. I have the most amazing marriage on the planet. Do you know that? I tell myself that all the time. And did you know it's really close to true? It has not always been true. We can both attest to that. Have an incredible marriage, but it's something that we have put that kind of work into. We have spoken life into our lives. We've spoken life into our children. And I'm not going to tell you I'm perfect at it, because I am not. I'm going to tell you I'm perfect at it because that's how it works. I'm going to tell you I'm perfect at manifestation, even though I'm blowing smoke right now, right? Like I could have messed it up earlier today. Like when I was in there going, whoa, 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 like I'm cleaning, I'm making sure that like, I don't know if it's just this guy coming from the news crew or if he's going to have a person with him. I don't know if they're going to be roaming around looking at things. And all I can think is, look at this place with eyes like you've never been in here before, you know, like cleaning the mirrors and stuff like that. It was a very stressful, like, and I was like, what have I spoken myself into? That's how I felt. What have I spoken myself into? One other thing I feel like I'm supposed to touch on, and I do think, even if you're going, I don't get this. I don't get how this is about plexus. One day you will if you don't yet. One thing I think I'm supposed to say is Saturday night, right before that 4-hour window, when I got up, I woke up Saturday morning. So, okay, she reached out to me Friday and said, I want to use your pictures. And my heart sank because I knew what had been said in the comments. That doesn't look like. So I asked her if I could, you know, take better pictures. And she's like, sure. But I'm thinking I felt like I was overwhelmed by how much work it was going to take. And was it worth it? And Saturday morning, I woke up and watched Field of Dreams from start to finish, cried through the entire movie. And I've watched this movie before, and I kind of got it. Like, I really got this movie this time. Like, this movie was about something different than I thought when I watched it when it came out when I was a kid. I bawled through the whole movie, like, not like suffocating crying, but like my eyes leaked through the entire movie. And still, it was probably noon or 2 or something when we got finished with it. I don't know. Still, I let several hours pass by when I was in this window of, do I just want to stay small because this is my chance? Do you understand where I'm talking about? Like, this is my chance to let the bedroom be brown and the furniture to not be wicker. This is my chance. This is my chance to be like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. This is my chance. And I don't know why at 6 o'clock, I look on Facebook and I'm like, I type in bamboo in Marketplace. Boom. Bamboo. Oh my gosh. This girl in the town over has all these little pieces of bamboo that she doesn't want much money for. Okay. So it wasn't until after 7 that I got to Hobby Lobby, like closer to 8. But that window of time was crucial for me. And I want to tell you too, so that's a self-sabotage window if you've never labeled it before. Am I comfortable the way I am? Yeah. Do I pay my bills month to month without any problem? Like, that's where we are in our Plexus business. Yeah. We have a life where we don't have people knocking on our door and we don't have news cameras coming over. I kind of like that, if I'm being honest. Do you understand why those hours to me were like, is it that important to have the brown, change the brown bedding to white bedding? By the way, did you know I had most of that stuff? Like, had most of it. The wicker pieces I didn't have, and the banana leaf fabric I didn't have. I didn't have those curtains, but those came from Big Lots. I'm saying I hardly put any money into it. I'll just put it like that. I waited there. I literally, like Brene Brown says, she shows the inner, underneath the stadium. It's interesting that that's a stadium too. Oh, the arena. Underneath the arena, she's like, yeah, I could pop popcorn down here, string up some twinkle lights. I can stay here and debate whether I should run to Hobby Lobby. Gosh, I'm going to have to get my makeup on. It's Saturday. I want to do other things. I want to go swim, all the things. But I knew that a year ago, I knew what I heard. I knew what I heard a year ago, and I knew that I owed it to the dream, to the vision, to get up and do at least what I could. My mom even said, what are you going to do? Because she had seen the commentary. What are you going to do? Are you going to make any changes over there? I mean, is that a lot of work? You know, she was just wondering out loud for me. I was like, Mom, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. It seems overwhelming. And that was, I mean, to think I felt like that on Saturday all the way up until almost 8 o'clock. And we're at Wednesday in Oprah magazine. Yo, that's crazy. Everything about it seems crazy. Okay, I hope that some of this you can take and apply as inspiration to what you have going on in your life right now. I'm going to pray for us. Does anybody have any questions about anything from the announcements? Promo codes, Gold Masterclass Week 2, 10-day Actively Balanced. By the way, I have a friend that says, well, I'm going to say it's a friend. I'm going to say it like this. I have a person in my life who says to me every now and then, if I told this story to her, for example, yeah, a lot of things like that happen to you, which is kind of like saying, I don't believe you. Okay. For example, this is another thing. A few years ago, some of you may remember that I posted a thing about when we were actually remodeling over at the guest house. Actually, Brittany's dad was doing it for me. He was remodeling the bathroom over there. And he had pulled the shower out from the wall, put a new shower surround in there. And there was a newspaper article inside the wall. Like somebody who had put the last bathtub in or whatever had dropped a current newspaper in the wall. And I'm going to show you. He called me and he's like, you need to come over here. And I went over there and I'm going to show you what he showed me that he had just pulled out of the wall of our guest house. Shoot, hang on. Hang on, I've obviously gone past it. I'm going to show you the picture from a distance first. You can see it's inside the wall there where he's pulled the shower out. Hang on. You can see it a little bit better there. I mean, you can see what it looked like where he pulled it out of. Oh. That's me. There was a newspaper article from 1992 folded to that picture of me. This also happened at a time when we were looking at other houses. This is when we were, y'all, when I posted that on Facebook, my friend that always says a lot of weird things like that happen to you, don't they? That's one of the times that she said that to me. You know what I told her that time? You couldn't possibly be tripped out any more than I am. I said, I don't even know who lived in that house in 1992. I was a junior in high school in 1992. I have no idea how that was in the wall in that house. Also, interestingly enough, there was another piece of newspaper that had fallen down between, that was from a newspaper a week earlier or later. I can't remember. It was like exactly the same size, folded up into a like this size. And it had fallen down behind. When we fished it out, it was kind of more wadded up. And when we fished it out, it had wedding announcements of two people that are on my Plexus team. Wedding announcement. One was a wedding announcement and one was a bridal registry. Jenny Norman, who is like Tammy and Kelly's upline. Jenny Norman's bridal announcement, or either her bridal registry or her engagement announcement, was in that paper. And yeah, it's weird because it actually is. It was very yellowed, but it wasn't like, I guess not very much air gets to it in there. I'm not sure. It was very yellowed. You can see a little bit better. It was an article from where I had won state DECA president. I asked everybody. I was like, what could possibly go in? What could this be? What could it mean? And somebody told me, I think Brittany's dad told me, sometimes contractors will, if they do work in a house, they'll drop a current newspaper at the time as like a timestamp as to when that work was done. Okay. Somebody just asked me if I was sneaking around in high school messing with remodeling jobs. She's like, we were just having field parties. Yeah. No. It did creep me out wondering who did live there, but once I realized that it's a contractor thing, that a remodeling, some people do that sometimes. Really? Okay, somebody's saying it doesn't take long for it to end up unreadable. Sorry, I had another message from somebody else. Okay, I'm really going to pray over us. I feel like I have this weird feeling in my heart, and I know it's a lie that I'm telling myself right now, so I'm going to confess it, and then I'm going to move on. But I have this like weird feeling like that this call was very self-indulgent, so I could tell y'all all this amazing story. My prayer is that you can take it and put it to memory, because one of the very first stories that I ever heard that was kind of like this one was the very first one I ever heard was when I was 19. But one of the first ones I heard in recent years was Sarah Robbins' mom. Do y'all know who Sarah Robbins, like Rockin' Robbins, that does the network marketing stuff? Her mom told a story. I'll tell it really quick. Her mom said that when she first had a baby, she didn't feel beautiful anymore, and she thought her husband didn't love her. And a friend of hers had told her, pick 2 scriptures and claim it over him. And she said she did. She picked out over your marriage is what she was told. So she picked out that you are more you are more precious than gold. You are the apple of his eye. You are more precious than gold. You're the apple of his eye. And every day, that's what she was telling herself, because she knew it was more about her than him. And she said, a few weeks went by, they went out to eat for their anniversary, and she looked up and the dessert was brought out, and instead of being a dessert, there was the waiter or whoever sat a little piece of like a jewelry box in front of her. She was like, this is not ours. And he's like, no, it's yours. And she opens it up, and it was a gold necklace with an apple pendant on it. And he looked right at her and said, you're more precious than gold to me. You are the apple of my eye. And he had no idea that she had been doing that. No idea. Yeah. And I remember when I heard that story, I was like, oh, it's on. I hope you heard my story tonight and you're like, it is on. It is on. Okay? Yeah. Is that not the coolest story? Manifest the life you want. Manifest the marriage you want. Manifest the health you want. Manifest the finances you want. By the way, it doesn't have to be Plexus specific. I will say that again and again. Don't put God in a box called anything. You could be like, checks in the mail. I mean, who cares, right? If you need the money to flow, don't be like, I hope I get a raise. Let that be part of it. But it doesn't have to be a raise from work. It could, I have, when I see things, when I close my eyes, sometimes I'll be praying over people and sometimes I see this, like money, like make it rain money. And sometimes I see them put their hand out, checking the mail. And I told that to one girl not too long ago, and she was like, what does that mean? And I said, well, I don't know. I just saw checks in the mail. Like you're going to come into some sort of money. I said, don't try to label it in your head. And she ended up she had royalties that had been oil royalties that had been her grandmother's, and that ended up getting, they had already been willed to her, but something had stopped the process and she didn't even know it. Like she didn't know they had been willed to her. And she began just, focusing on checks in the mail. And next thing you know, they showed up. Pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to pray over you guys tonight. God, may every word that was spoken tonight, Lord, glorify you and who you are. My one true desire, Lord, is to point everyone back to you and your desire and your love for us as your kids. God, I thank you for those that you put in my path with inspiration and tips that have made such a powerful impact in my life, the kind of powerful impact to where I have people in my life say that a lot of those kind of things happen to you, don't they? Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I just pray tonight that your heart will blossom like a new seed, like seeds that have been planted like this was water. This was like water and sunshine, like good rainwater, soaking water and sunshine on seeds that have already been planted. And that this story, it doesn't have to be exact details, but the feeling of the Field of Dreams story, the feeling of what? Oprah magazine? That story, that would manifest something in your heart. It's hope that hadn't been there before, and also that it would manifest a new season for the way that you talk about yourself. It's okay. When we went to Arizona, they had Preston Pugmire speak to us as leaders, and one of the things that he taught us was when someone says you're awesome, you can say, I know, you are too, or I know, thank you. Thank you, I know. That's how you would say it. Thank you, I know. I like to say, thank you, you are too. He said, you're awesome doesn't mean, or like for you to tell yourself that you're awesome, doesn't mean you're awesomer than anybody else. I tell myself I'm awesome all the time. Girl, you are awesome. I'll look in the mirror sometimes and be like, not because I'm looking at how awesome looking I am, although I am awesome looking, I look at myself and say, girl, you are awesome. Did you know I started doing that way before it felt like it fit? We seen the cute little video of the little girl in the mirror. I think she's like straddling the sink. She's like, you, and you. Whatever she's saying is like talking about how awesome she is and she's going to have an awesome day. I pray that over you. Why not? I mean, why not? I'm going to say it one more time. Why not? Why would you not look at yourself and tell yourself you're awesome? I'm awesome. Did you know it's more fun to spend time around people who feel secure about themselves, because then there's not a whole lot of that like undermining, trapping people with your words, manipulation, junk. People who are very secure in themselves are so fun to hang out with. It's okay to be secure in who you are, and it's okay to not have to feel like you need to apologize for who you are. I want to turn a different song on. I just thought of one. Yeah. More precious than gold. We are the apple of his eye. Lord, come and fill us. Satisfy like only you can do. I love this song. I'm just going to play just a little of it for you guys.
Yeah, we're searching for more of you. Living water, let us drink and forever be renewed. Have your way, we welcome you in this place. We welcome you in this place. In this place. In this place.
God, right now we ask that your spirit would collide with us so hard in all the areas that we've tried to hide. If there are little corners of your heart, rooms inside your heart that you have tried to hide from his light, let him shine on you right now tonight. Thank you, Jesus. I have another just very specific prayer. I pray that as you send these messages out in this send, share, invite, that his anointing and his power, and also his anointing and power will be on these messages, but also that creative ideas will spurt inside of you of new people to reach out to, people that you have forgotten about, people that you should follow up with, people that you put on the list somewhere, that you would be even inspired to do the list like Brian taught us. Brian from Plexus taught us, where it's like, what does that make you think of? Someone, she loves blue. Who else do you know that loves blue? My hairdresser. Okay, who do you know else do you know that's a hairdresser? So on and so forth. The unending list, the unending list. We need to be filling these lists up because this is manifestation season, people. We need to be reaching out. All right. All right, I'm just closing this out tonight. Father God, we thank you. We offer you the highest praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, what you say again, Lori, about that? Okay. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna catch up really quick on a couple of messages. Okay. Thank you guys for hopping on here tonight. I can't see any of your faces now. I'm literally, I'm looking at myself and saying, you are awesome. I'm talking to y'all though. Y'all are awesome tonight. Okay. You guys be blessed. Don't forget about our event that's coming up on the 1st. Send, share, invite. Send, share, invite. Good night.